Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, another Facebook Live. Today we are very fortunate from the lovely state of Arizona, number 10 in the whole company out of 1,100 agents, and you were the Chairman Gold Award winner as well, too. Welcome to the show, Velma Herzberg. Woo!
Thank you so much for having me today. It's an honor.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And thank you for taking your time out. I love your piano behind you. It looks gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. It has all my favorite people in there. And my father back there, unfortunately, we lost him in 2020, but he's the man right there. He taught me everything I know. So I owe it all to him and the man above. So.
All right. Awesome. Well, speaking of that, tell us a little about yourself. You know, how long you've been doing this. You know, tell them a little about where you live, all that good stuff, please.
Okay, great. So I have been in this crazy, wonderful business since I was 18 and started from the very bottom of the ranks, started as a part-time bank teller. So have done a little bit of everything. Worked at a credit bureau. So I know the ins and outs of a credit report, was an account executive for them, was a processor and underwriter, worked for a title company, a closer. I mean, I've done every aspect of this crazy business. And then I decided that I'm going to get into real estate. And so I started selling real estate, and that was all she wrote for me. And I absolutely love it, and was a successful agent back in Michigan. As a matter of fact, yesterday was my 5-year anniversary here in Arizona. So
Nice.
yeah, so we moved 5 years ago from Michigan to here to Arizona in Queen Creek, and stayed with Berkshire Hathaway. I was an associate broker at Berkshire Hathaway Tommy Raines in Michigan. Shout out to Debbie Barnett and the crew. And then came over here to the Gilbert Mesa office. Started in August of 2018. Got my license, closed my first deal, I think in like September. And then that's all she wrote. And so I've been writing business ever since. It started out that I came here to retire from Michigan, and somebody caught wind in my community that I live in that I was a real estate agent. And so I said, well, what am I going to do? There's only so much pickleball and golf and drinking by the pool that you can do. I might as well get my license and get my butt back to work. So one turned to two turned to 10 turned to 20, and now I'm number 10 out of the
now you're addicted.
Now not that I wasn't addicted before, but now I'm really addicted. So,
well, you seem to have that personality where, you know, once you get it going, and I agree with you, you can only play so much pickleball or go on vacation so much. By the way, I looked at your Facebook page before we started. It looks like you had a good girls trip recently too.
Oh, my Atlanta, I don't even want to talk about it, because what happens in Laughlin stays in Laughlin.
I was going to say, there's no video, right?
I will tell you that I won $400 on the blackjack tables.
Nice.
And I almost did not go to the concert because my table was so hot. I had three blackjacks in like 45 minutes. And they're like, come on, Val, we got to go. And I'm like, no, I'm skipping the concert. I'm staying. My table was hot.
I'm winning out here.
Yeah, but I walked away with $400, so I was good with that.
Good for you. And what concert did you guys see?
We went and saw Brooks and Dunn.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah. Good. So country. You like country. I love it.
Yeah. I like a little bit of everything.
That's good. And especially, you know, it seems like, okay, and I was going to ask you, so you're from Michigan, what part? Right, you got to show the part, right? Isn't that how they do it in Michigan? They show you.
That's how they do it. They do it like this in California.
Right, exactly.
Right. So we were right outside of Lansing and Okemos.
Okay.
And then, so right by East Lansing. But then that's where we spent a majority of our time. But then when we left 5 years ago, we were in Grand Ledge, which is on the west side, which is close to Grand Rapids. So
Yep.
right in between Grand Rapids and Lansing.
So that's kind of a big change, right? I mean, the business is still basically the same, right? But I mean, are you enjoying every minute of your new location?
Absolutely love it. But it's not the same. It's not the same. I mean, it's the same concept, but
Right.
completely different things to get used to because in Michigan, your hot time to be out there selling and hitting the streets is, you know, May, June, July, August. And here, I mean, people don't even think about looking at a house in 120-degree weather. So that was a big change for me. And then in the winter months here, October, November, December, it's a hot time for
Yeah.
people to be looking.
Right.
As opposed to Michigan, not a lot of people want to look at houses in January and 6 feet
Yeah.
of snow or
They don't
whatever.
like
So
wearing their snow boots to go look.
right, it
And
was a big. It's been an adjustment for me.
yeah. Right. Awesome. Yeah. And it's such a great place. I remember the first time I went to Arizona from here. It was the first time my car ever said 128 degrees. Now that was inside because it was in the sun, right? But I was like, wow, I'm from New England, so I'm used to the same type of weather you're used to in Michigan. Very similar. Right. So
Right.
it was a
Right.
big change here. But I've been in Vegas for 12 years now. I love it. It's great.
Oh, it was the best move we have ever made in our life. We've never looked back. We sold our home. I have two brothers that live here, and that's why we moved. They've been trying to get me to come to Arizona for years, and I'm like, I'm not going to that hot box. Are you nuts? It's 120 degrees there. Forget it. I'll stay in Michigan. Came here in December of 2017 for 2.5 weeks at Christmas time because, again, in Michigan, nothing's going on at Christmas time. So we came and vacationed, fell in love with it, put our house on the market. And I said to my husband, if it sells, we're going. If it doesn't, we're staying. My house sold in 10 days, all cash, bought every single piece of furniture, decoration,
Perfect.
everything. So it was meant to be. So we've never looked back, never have been happier. It's the best thing we've ever done. We love it here. And we love the
That's
community we live in. It's a slice of heaven here.
that's great. That's great. And you have functions in there. It sounds like, and you guys do all kinds of stuff. So it sounds good.
Oh yeah, it's the best community ever if you're not familiar with it. So it's Encantera, which is a trilogy community, and it is a Shea property, and we live on a Tom Lehman PGA golf course, and it is phenomenal here. We have a 60,000 square foot clubhouse, four pools, four restaurants, four bars, an art studio, pickleball courts, tennis courts, um, Thursday night socials. Last weekend we had a Kentucky Derby party. Just there's
A
just
blast.
always there's always something going on. You can be as busy as you want, or you can stay at home and read books. There's a club or an activity for somebody always going on.
That's great.
And it's a lovely community. There's 2,500 home sites here, gated community. It's phenomenal.
That is awesome. And is that where you do primarily most of your business, right in there from all the people that you met and live working in there with?
I do 100% of my business in the community. I do not. I do step outside of the community when my clients within the community have a referral. So I do go outside of the community, Scottsdale, Gilbert, Chandler, wherever they need me to, if they have family or friends that are looking that don't want to be inside in Pantera. But primarily 100% of my business is all referral business right within the community.
Great. So give us an idea, like how do you work in there? Like what's your form of securing business? Going to all the events, or give us an idea of how you do that. That'd be great.
Well, I like to. It's really getting out there and building a relationship. And do I go to all of the events? No. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people will say, "Where have you been? What have you been doing? We haven't seen you." A lot of people know that I'm a workhorse in the community. Um, and they'll say, oh, she's having an open house, she's doing this. Because when you work and live in a community, it could be a double-edged sword, right?
Right.
So if you're out at the events all the time, a lot of people will be like, well, why are you sitting at the pool? Why are you drinking pina colada? Why aren't you out selling my house, right?
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword, so you have to be real careful. Thankfully, my husband is very social, so he gets out there and does a lot of some of the marketing and continues to get my name out there. But I do a lot on Facebook, a lot on social media. I'm always posting things, so my name is constantly out there with my picture. I do a lot of charity events. So when my clients have birthdays, I will send them charcuterie boards from a lady that makes charcuterie boards within the neighborhood. So I'll call her up and say, it's so and so's birthday, send her, and she delivers them and she makes this beautiful package and they love it. And I'll be at the club with having dinner with my husband and I'll see my clients and I'll tell the waitresses, pick up their tab or send a bottle of wine and things like that really go a long way and they love it. So
They love you in there. You're like the first lady and the first gentleman in there, right? You and your husband.
I try to be.
That's great.
But
That's great.
yeah.
So okay, so and now, are you doing anything by email? Do you make a point to call them, or it's all by seeing them at events in there?
Well, I don't do, I do handwritten notes. I will
Good.
send out handwritten notes to them because it's a very personal community. They like that one-on-one and the age demographics are such that a majority of the community is a 55 and older community, although it is not a closed 55 and older community. So there are people of the younger generation, but I tend to find that people like that more personalized, getting a handwritten note. We have a cluster mailbox room. Okay, so everybody goes into the same room within the clubhouse to get their mail. So when you do mailers and you do those types of things, I see a lot of other real estate agents that are farming this community because there's about 25 agents that actually live in this community.
Wow.
Yeah, 25. And there's myself and another agent who live in the community who get all of the business. And then there's another company that are the on-site resale realtors that work for the builder. So we're primarily the three people, that are the ones that are getting a majority of the business. But so what I see in the mailroom is a lot of wasted money. So people take those flyers and they're in the trash
Right.
because there's a big bin where it's recycles, and so you can see all of that just going there. So I try not to do that, and then a lot of the emails get thrown into spam. So what I do is I like to drive around in my golf cart because that's what we do here is we drive around in our golf cart and I'll do little pop buys and I'll
Yep.
drop off little things to people at their house. We have a no soliciting rule here within the
Right.
community. But because I live here, it's not soliciting, right?
Right.
So, I mean,
You're going by
I
to say
can
hi to
drop,
somebody, and you're
right.
now okay, Velma. I have to ask you because I know what you drive like around that convertible, right? So, do you have a souped-up golf cart?
Well, well, it's funny that you asked that because I don't drive around my convertible. Okay, that's my little baby that sits in the garage. I have a Hummer, an H3 that I drive around for real estate, and
Ah,
because I was in Michigan, right, so I had to have a big, huge. My
four-wheel
husband's like,
drive.
you need a big car, right? So here's this little tiny 5'2" lady coming out of this big H3 Hummer, and people think it's kind of funny of me driving a Hummer in the neighborhood. So it kind of works,
Did
right?
you have to add a few stairs to get out? You like roll down?
Yes. You know the gig, you know the deal. Um, so I drive my Hummer, and then I drive my golf course approved golf cart to cruise around the neighborhood and take clients in. Now,
Nice.
husband has a souped up golf cart. He has a 6-passenger U of M, University of Michigan, Go Blue golf cart. And he drives that thing around. And I'm like, how in the world are we going to get into any trouble in this community with that doggone golf cart? Everybody's going to know it's us, right?
You're the only one with the UV. Yeah.
Yeah, we're the only one with this crazy good golf cart, but he loves it. But no, I don't have the souped up version. He does.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's a guy thing.
Yes, it's really, but I'll tell you what's funny is that the Ohio State people in the community,
Throw things at him.
when we drive that golf cart to the clubhouse for dinner or to the we have it's called the Algar, which is the adult pool and bar, and it's parked in the outside. We come back to nasty notes on the car, like Michigan sucks, and all kinds of.
That's hilarious.
It's funny. We have a great time here. The sports rivalry doesn't end no matter where you live. So
Yeah. Even Sparty, even the Spartans will probably put a note on there too, right? The other side of the state.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. We have Spartans here that drive because we live on the golf course, and so they come up and into our backyard, and his golf cart has a Michigan State flag, and they razz us all the time. But I have the Michigan fight song on my phone, and so every time they drive by, I press the button and I play the Michigan fight song. And
Good for you. Good for
yeah,
you.
well,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let's do this. Okay. Because, it's one of the questions I sent out. Tell us, okay, to be a successful agent for the people listening, whether they're newer or trying to go to the next level, what would be the top 3 things? And you've already given them a whole bunch of tidbits, but what would be the top 3 things you tell them to focus on to be a success in this business?
Well, I think part of my success is really focusing on my faith and my religion. I think it's
Okay.
really important. Is really important that you don't miss that component, and really having that solid foundation with your family, because that really does come first. And then the next thing is going to kind of contradict what I just said, but it's really going to set you up for the rest of your life. The second thing I would give, a great piece of advice that I received when I was first starting out in the real estate world is, if you want to be successful and if you want to have a career in this industry for the rest of your life, for the first 12 months of your career, say goodbye to your family and work your tail off for 12 months. Lay the foundation down, put in the work, put your systems in place, get your database up and running, get your marketing in place, get your follow-up systems, get what works for you, get your education, get your knowledge, continue building on it, and build a referral source with your CRM. Become the mayor of your town, so to speak, right? Get
Yeah.
your whatever it is that works for you and where you are in your career, whether it's through the schools, whether it's through your church, whatever outlet that you find your business and that's comfortable for you, work it and
Mhm.
work it for the next 12 months and continue to build on it. And you're going to set yourself up and lay that foundation for the rest of your life. So those are the 2 big things. And the third thing is, it kind of goes back to the other 2 is, yes, there's a lot of disruptors. There's a lot of all of these things that go on throughout the industry. I've seen so many things that have happened in the past 30 years. I think it's 30 plus years now. I got to figure out how old I am because I can never remember because I change my age all the time. But anyways, so stick to what works. Stick to what works. Stick to the basics. Add things that makes sense and what works for you. and pick and choose a couple of the things, the new things that are happening in this quote unquote disruptor kind of thing. Don't listen to all of the chatter and feel like you have to do everything. Just focus on maybe one or two things that you want to implement and do it very well, and continue doing what you're already doing and build on it.
I love it. All right, good stuff. I love it. Okay, so I think that's some really good tidbits for them to hear. As far as I love it. Have your base, whether it's religion, spirituality, or whatever, and then your first 12 months, even maybe 18, you got to go out there and do it, and then get out there. So I really think those are really good things. Any final words you want to leave these people? Because we are right at time, Velma. Anything you want to mention to them other than your top three?
Oh, nothing. Just have a wonderful day today. Thank goodness we've got some nice weather coming, and I absolutely love being in the business. And if you love it, you'll always love it. And if you hate it, you're never going to love it. So I guess
Right.
that's a piece of advice I can give you as well. It's
You're still going to get by, and I would say don't make a decision if you like it or love it until you're 12, 18 months in, because,
Yeah.
once you start making money, it becomes a little different, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And get with a good mentor. Get with a good mentor and somebody that you connect with to really, really, help you. Because when you're starting out, you need to have that tribe of people around you, because you will get to the point where you want to quit, but just don't. I mean, if you love it and you love what you're doing, stick with it.
Stick with it, because it'll all come together, right? Because there's a lot of people in real estate, but about 10% of the people are doing most of the business. Like you said, there's two of you doing most of it out of 25 agents in your neighborhood, and because you have a system. You're out there, you're talking to people, you're going to events, all right? You're driving around in your golf carts, dropping stuff off for them. I love it. I love it. All right, Velma. Well, thank you very much for taking your time out today. This was awesome. We really appreciate you. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye.
Velma.
Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you.